Show with no namers. Can I get an amen? Oh, yeah. Now, can I get a hallelujah? That's the ticket. Ahora sí. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for liftoff. Let's go. Let's get going. Pongámonos en marcha. Marcha, marcha. Queremos marcha.
Ignition.
Come on, baby, baby.
Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
We've got this. Let's get going. Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. And get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. It's a show with no name. Let's go. All right, amigos, welcome. Welcome one, welcome all. It is time for another English extravaganza. Welcome aboard Show with No Namers. Wherever you may be tuned in from, it's a pleasure to have you with us today, amigos. An absolute pleasure, as always. I hope you guys are having a good morning. I hope your day has gotten off to a good start. Empezar con buen pie, you say. I hope your day has gotten off to a good start. Mine has gotten off to an amazing start. That's what happens when you start your day with some cuddles, unos mimos, some cuddles from your daughter and your wife. How can you have a bad day after that? And then off to the gym. That's right. Gotta get my ass in shape. Muchas veces en inglés decimos my ass, pero significa yo mismo. I gotta get my ass to the gym. Evidentemente es todo tu cuerpo, pero it's a totally native. And as you guys know, we have tons of totally natives here on the show. Some that I bring you and some that you bring to the table. And we've got lots of challenges up ahead as well. So get ready. And speaking of challenges, are you ready for our upcoming Vaughn Radio Trivia Night / 16th anniversary of the Show with No Name? Hello, it's Alberto Alonso from the Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. And I've got some great news for you. We've got an awesome event coming up. It is Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, but with a cherry on top. Con una guinda. We're also celebrating 16 seasons of the Show with No Name. And it's all happening on October 2nd at 8 p.m. at Roll Madrid. Join me for a Vaughn Radio Trivia Night and a celebration of 16 years on the air. Thanks to you. See you there. I hope to see you there. Many of you have confirmed that you will be coming to Madrid. If you've never come to a trivia night, this is the night, because it's not your average. No es uno cualquiera. It's not going to be your average trivia night. Why? Because it is to the exact date 16 years ago that I started the Show with No Name. And that, again, I can't even begin to thank you all. I can't even begin to thank you all for the support and for just being the greatest students in the world. Also, aside from the trivia night, we've got another event coming up. Mark your calendars. It is, what was the date? It was, that's right, Saturday, September 21st, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Stop by Colegio Estudiantes en Las Tablas. It's one of our Vaughan centers. Colegio Estudiantes Las Tablas in the north of Madrid. The 21st of this month, September 2024, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Richard Vaughan will be there giving a master class. You can get tons of other things such as level tests, storytellers. Join us for this open house. Puertas abiertas. All right, amigos. Also, I've got to say, I am impressed. So many people are participating in this week's Question of the Week.
Question of the Week.
Charge. That's what we say after that. That's right, folks. The question of the week for this coming Friday. You have until the end of the day, Thursday, to tell me if you prefer to cook, eat out, or order in. And let's see, I can tell you right now, all the people who have participated. Wait, I should say all the ladies who have participated. I don't think any of the fellas have participated. So give it up for the ladies. Celia, Nuria, Cristina, Cris Valrol, Laura, Elena, Marisol, and Carmen. Wow, so much participation. And we'll be hearing from these amazing students on our question of the week on our Friday show. Every Friday, we get to hear from you guys. Every Friday, I get to help you with your English. And that's awesome. With your English, I help you with your English every day. But I mean, I get to help you personally with your pronunciation, with your syntaxes, and I get to congratulate you. I get to tweak you a little bit, to tweak, hacer ajustes. So please participate. The best way to improve your speaking, there's no secret here. It's a very straightforward response, and that is by speaking. So speak every week. This will give you an opportunity to, of course, express yourself in English. So I think everybody can share an opinion here. You don't have to do much soul searching, but do you prefer to cook? No cook. We don't say cook. Say it with me. Cook. Es como un rápido. Cook. Do you prefer to cook, to eat out, or to order in, to order delivery? You can say to order in. Yes, it has its own phrasal verb. And why? Of course, the important part is to explain why. Send me a 1-minute voice message. You can send it to aalonso@grupovaughan.com. Record it on your phone. Record it the best you can. I can always play with it after, bring the volume up, the compressor, but always, be mindful. Pay attention that there's not a big echo or that there isn't a lot of background noise. I mean, it doesn't have to be a professional recording. And because that's part of it too. If we can't understand you because the recording is bad, well, that stinks because maybe your English is brilliant and we're missing it. So be mindful of that. Send a 1-minute voice message from your phone. You can do it very simply. I'm sure you send them to your friends via WhatsApp. And tell me if you, first introduce yourself, then tell me if you prefer to cook or if you'd rather cook. Vamos a cambiarlo. En vez de, do you prefer to cook? Would you rather cook, eat out, or order in, and why? And you can send that voice note to aalonso@grupovaughan.com. I urge you all to participate and improve your speaking on a weekly basis. All right, folks, time for another challenge. It's your pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. quiz. Come on. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. All right, folks. Well, we have got something here. We've got many things at our Vaughn Tienda, but there is one thing that is, I think, the backbone, la espina dorsal, the backbone of the Vaughn method. And I think that that is the translation lists. Okay, so let's put it this way. If you have the translation lists, it's one booklet now. It used to be many, but now it's in one book. If you have the translation lists and the student manual, you've got what the teachers have. The teachers go armed to their classes with the student manual. Well, it's called the teacher's manual, our version. And then the other one is, of course, the translation lists. And they work together. And as everything in the Vaughn method, they get progressively harder. So it starts with the simplest structures, the most basic structures, the structures that everybody learns when they're a kid. And then you get into more complicated structures. But it is complete. If you want to really get to know the Vaughn method, I say you get the translation booklet. Again, it's all in one. It comes with audio now. They used to be separate books. And that'll give you content for the year, para el año. Because as you know, we don't just do a translation list, right? What does that mean? Hacer traducciones. That doesn't do anything. What we do, we meaning show with no namers, FYIers, my students on the podcast as well. Well, what we do is we play with it. So instead of just knowing that we know that translation, we know the structure inside and out. Del revés, afirmación, negación. And with every structure, you've got kind of four options, the way I look at it, okay? You've got the affirmative, you've got the negative, and you've got the question and the indirect question. Okay, so let's look at an example. Let's say we're looking at translation list 1. Let's start basic. And I want you guys to do it with me, okay? Es un libro. Afirmamos. Es un libro. Did you say it is a book? Please tell me you didn't say it is a book. It's a book. It's a book. O sea, so if you said it is, or you didn't contract the it's, we got to go back to page 1 because that's how I would say it. That's how a native speaker would say it. It's a book, right? Lo que cambia ahí es el book. It's a cow. It's a whatever. So it's a, hasta lo tengas mil veces, pero no it is a or it's a. It's a. And that's a difficult sound for you Spanish people, and I know it. Of course I know that. That's why we're focusing on it. So it's a book. Easy phrase, right? But did you say it right? I hope you did. It's a book. Okay? That's the affirmative. Question. Is it a book? Is it? No, eat. Please don't say eat. Eat es comer. Then you're going to make me hungry. Is it a book? Por favor, repite conmigo. Así sabemos que lo estás diciendo como nosotros, ¿no? Con el it, no eat. So, it's a book, afirmamos. Pregunta, is it a book? Dime que no lo es. No, it isn't. It's not. You can say, I would normally say it isn't personally. It isn't a book, or it's not a book. Okay, de todos modos, contraemos. Okay, so good. We've got the negative, we've got the positive, the affirmative, we've got the question, now the indirect question. ¿Sabes si es un libro? Do you know if it's a book? Do you know? Do you know if it's a book? It's a. Otra vez el it's a. Did you get them right? Did you pronounce them correctly? Well, that's how you do the translation lists. That's how we do them, folks. The translation lists are done exactly like that. So if you're in my class, I have a weekly class with my students. You can expect me, and on the podcast, on FYI, to be asking you, turn it into a question. Tell me it isn't, so this way you're not just learning a structure, you're playing with the language. You're feeling comfortable using the language inside and out, as I said, no? Totalmente, inside and out. So check it out. It's available at vontienda.com. It is our translation books. And today we're going to look at a high-level one, well, because I'm dealing with some superstars here. So this is some audio. And again, if you don't know the pronunciation, that's what the audio's for. Try and make yours sound as much like the one on the audio. So this is from Translation Book 8. It's a little excerpt from that translation booklet. And as always, pay attention because I will have a challenge or two for you.
Translation List 4.
Los pequeños se hundirán.
The small ones will go under.
¿Podemos prorrogar la línea de crédito?
Can we extend the credit line?
Ya estamos hasta el cuello de deudas.
We're already up to our neck in debt.
Esperad, se nos olvida algo.
Wait, we're forgetting something.
Tenemos una valiosa colección de cuadros aquí mismo, en la oficina.
We have a valuable collection of paintings right here in the office.
¿Estás sugiriendo que los vendamos?
Are you suggesting that we sell them?
¿Qué más podemos hacer?
What else can we do?
No veo otra salida.
I don't see any other way out.
¿Cuánto valen?
How much are they worth?
Recuerdo el valor de hace 10 años.
I remember their value 10 years ago.
Fueron tasados por un experto.
They were valued by an expert.
Entonces, valían 3.000 millones.
At that time, they were worth $3 billion.
¿Cuánto valdrían ahora?
How much would they be worth now?
Depende de cómo queramos venderlos.
It depends on how we want to sell them.
Si los subastamos, conseguiremos menos.
If we auction them, we'll get less.
Si contratamos a un agente, podemos conseguir un 15% más.
If we hire an agent, we can get 15% more.
Se tardaría más, pero ganaríamos más.
It would take longer, but we'd earn more.
¿Cuánto crees que tardaríamos?
How long do you think it would take us?
Podríamos deshacernos de todos ellos en un año más o menos.
We could get rid of all of them in about a year.
Así podríamos saldar nuestras deudas.
That way we could settle our debts.
Incluso podríamos pactar una buena indemnización por despido para todos.
We could even negotiate good severance pay for everyone.
¿Cuánto nos quedaría al final?
How much would we have left in the end?
Aún quedaría suficiente para prepararnos un paracaídas de oro.
There would still be enough left over to prepare ourselves a golden parachute.
¿Qué quiere decir un paracaídas de oro?
What does a golden parachute mean?
Significa que podemos jubilarnos ahora y vivir felices y comer perdices.
It means we can retire now and live happily ever after.
Translation List 5.
Los escoceses tienen un acento extraño.
The Scottish have a strange accent.
Tienen fama de ser tacaños.
They're famous for being tight-fisted.
Si yo fuera zurdo, podría hacerlo.
If I were left-handed, I could do it.
Llevaos a esa gente de aquí.
Take those people away.
Deja que te releve.
Let me take over for you.
Esa gente es de mente muy estrecha.
Those people are very narrow-minded.
Primero, hacemos una previsión de ventas.
First, we make a sales forecast.
Después, hacemos un plan de producción.
Then, we make a production plan.
Con estos datos, elaboramos el presupuesto de gastos.
With this data, we draw up the expense budget.
Los gastos generales se comparten.
Overhead expenses are shared.
Se asignan a cada departamento según el número de empleados.
They are allocated to each department according to the number of employees.
Algunos jefes de departamento se quejan de esta política.
Some department heads complain about this policy.
Sin embargo, es la forma más justa.
However, it's the fairest way.
Cada mes, las ventas reales se comparan con las ventas estimadas.
Each month, actual sales are compared to estimated sales.
¿Y qué pasa si hay desviaciones?
And what happens if there are variances?
Localizamos las causas y tomamos medidas.
We pinpoint the causes and take action.
Nuestros clientes son imprevisibles.
Our customers are unpredictable.
Hay muchos altibajos a lo largo del año.
There are a lot of ups and downs throughout the year.
Es un negocio estacional.
It's a seasonal business.
La temporada alta empieza ahora.
The high season is beginning now.
La situación de tesorería mejora en mayo.
The cash situation improves in May.
Los míos están al lado de los de ella.
Mine are next to hers.
El de ellos es diferente del nuestro.
Theirs is different from ours.
¿De quién es el que está en el suelo?
Whose is the one on the floor? Or, whose is the one that's on the floor?
Aquel antes era de él.
That one used to be his.
All right, there you go, folks. That is from our translation lists. A great way to learn English by hearing some of the most common structures. And now we know that each list might have 50, I believe, 20, let's say 25. Each list has 25 translations. However, if you apply my strategy, then you've got 100 per page. Because remember, there are 4 for each one. So let's see what I want from you guys. The first one is I want you to rhyme a word with deuda in inglés. Okay, so me tendrías que decir tal rima con deuda. Quiero frase completa, por supuesto. So tal palabra rima con deuda. Okay, the word in English we're looking for, the rhyming word is deuda. Deuda. That is number 1 in your pop quiz. Number 2, I want you to use the structure valer la pena or valer. Okay, we heard it a couple times in there. You can use it however you want. I just want to make sure you're using it correctly. So the second one is to use the structure valió la pena. Use it in your own structure. Nos va a valer la pena. Right, to use, you can even use the Mark Anthony song. Valió la pena lo que era necesario para estar contigo, amor. Eres una bendición. Thank you. So, valer la pena, number 2. And number 3, they use the word subastar in there. Subastar. So I want to see if you got that word and if you can use it in context as well. So there you go, amigos. We've extracted 3 different things from this audio from our translation book. Again, it's available at vaughntienda.com along with many other amazing materials. If what you're looking for is courses, amigos, we've got a lot of courses, of course. All right. If you're looking for courses, go to grupovaughn.com/cursos destacados, and you can find out what's going on in the Vaughn world, my amigos. All right, so that's your pop quiz. I have a feeling, I have a hunch you guys are going to knock it out of the park like yesterday. The first one is you need to rhyme a word with deuda in English. The second one is use the structure valer la pena in English. And the last one, use the verb subastar. They are all 3 different things that we heard in this audio clip from the Vaughan translation books. Let me see. I don't even remember how much it is, but it is a steal, guys. When you think of how much audio book, Vaughan, how much audio it comes with it, here it is. €19.90. That's at Casa del Libro, but you can also get it at Vaughan Tienda or wherever fine books are sold. Right now, we're going to take a quick commercial break. That'll give you some time to think over our pop quiz. When we come back, we'll also take a look at today's Say What soundbite. We've also got spelling bees, movies, music, and so much more up ahead, amigos. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Stick around. Hey, amigos. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name here on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting. Don't forget, you can start your day with my good friend Rob Grams and the Pro Bow Show. Then you've got Richard Vaughn Live. You've got No Excuses, a master class with Fitz. After this program, you've got another great friend of mine, Jimena Holiday and Nacho, in Test Your English. It's a conversational, desenfadado, fun show where you go over some of the most common mistakes in the English language. After that, you've got Lunch with Rob and Andy. It's going to be a wacky lunch date. Chifladísimo. Then you got Let's Get Random with Jules Linares. Speak Up with Ruby. The Salad with Dave Boys, where you never know what to expect. Then you've got Kyle Miller for the ride home, the commute home with his program Drive Time. After Drive Time, kick back and make yourself a cocktail with my buddy Chris Frank. And on the weekends, you can learn English with Jessica Fernandez. But I can't remember. What was the name of Jessica's show?
Guess who's back?
Yes, who's back?
Yes, he's back.
Tell a friend.
Yes, he's back. 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 Yes, he's back.
That's right. The Hour to Empower with Jessica Fernandez is back on Vaughn Radio. Don't miss it every weekend, folks, and you can also get it wherever you get your podcasts. Now it's time for the Say What soundbite. Say what? What? All right, amigos, we're going to hear from a famous person now. This guy is an icon, a counterculture pop comic book icon. I mean, this guy is a caricature of himself. All right? I know that's not going to help you very much, but that's not the important part. Okay, if you know who it is, great. But I'm more interested in you being able to sum up what you heard. So, as always, you're going to hear this 4 times. You're going to hear it twice now and then another time in the third and fourth part of the show, respectively. So is everybody ready? Put on your thinking caps. That's an expression that means ponte a pensar. Pon el gorro de pensar. Put on your thinking caps. And here's your Say What soundbite for the first time.
Careful, Chief O'Hara. Whatever unknown force was employed in dematerializing Marshal Coley's statue may have left a contaminating residue on the pedestal.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Hey, sorry about that. But, hey, also a lot of people talk like that. Like, that's not too fast for a native speaker. Again, all you have to do is listen to yourselves when you speak Spanish. You don't realize it. But you guys speak as a nation really quickly, really fast. As a not only as a nation, you know, some friends of mine from Mexico, Argentina, they don't necessarily speak slowly. Like, bueno, way aquí. You guys are fast. But I guess a native speaker never realizes how fast they're going because it just rolls off their tongue, or at least that's the idea. All right, let me give it to you a second time, and then we can talk about what we heard. Here it is, your Say What soundbite for the second time.
Careful, Chief O'Hara. Whatever unknown force was employed in dematerializing Marshal Coley's statue may have left a contaminating residue on the pedestal.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola de 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así de gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit. Oh, yeah, that's right. This book is the shit, my latest book. It's available at Vaughan Tienda. But today we're not taking a look at This Book is the Shit, although we just learned some idiomatic expressions. I think in that cuña, in that radio ad, there are like 10 very useful idiomatic expressions, and you guys should know them by now. All right, well, we're looking at the translation booklet. Again, it's available at Vaughan Tienda, €20.95. So under 21 euros. And you have got a lot of juicy, juicy English. Oh, yeah. Jugoso. Meaty. Con carne, con chicha. We say the same thing. It's called the translation booklet. It was created by the one and only Richard Vaughan. So, if you don't have it, You're missing the backbone of everything we do in our method. Check it out, the translation booklet. Let's go on over to our virtual classroom and see who's in the house. In our pop quiz, I see we've got a lot of people participating too. So just for your participation, before we even get started, great job. There's lovely Laura. Laura says, good morning, lovely show with no namers and teacher. Let's learn and have a ball let's learn. I can't read. It's not your fault. Let's learn and have a ball at the same time together. Es que yo metí el together ahí. All right, Laura, to have a ball. Tener una gala. Que es también pasarlo bomba. There's no doubt about it, especially if you're coming with that PMA, that positive mental attitude that you are known for. Lovely Laura. Laura's also participating in our pop quiz. Let's see how she did. Bet rhymes with debt. Absolutely. It's a good way to remember it. I bet, apuesto, I bet he doesn't have any debt. Apuesto que no tiene deuda. That B is totally silent in there. Totally silent, right? Debt. Quiero que imagines la palabra D-E-B-T y tacha la B. Escríbelo y tacha la B. Ahora dilo, debt. A que te sale bien. So forget about the B. Ignore that B. Hombre, si lo vas a escribir, escríbelo bien. But I mean, when you see the word in your head, I want you to see D-E-T. So you bet. You bet is another way. I'm playing with words here, Laura. You bet is claro que sí. You bet. Bet rhymes with debt. Let's see. Laura also says, learning English is worth the effort, especially with our one-of-a-kind teacher, Double A. To be worth it. Good job. You used it perfectly. Is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. Acuérdate, tiene que ir el it ahí al final si hacemos la pregunta y se emplea con el verbo to be, ser o estar. All right, and she rounds off her pop quiz answers with, I have a very old painting by a famous painter, and I'm planning to auction it. I wish. Great job. To auction. You can also say to auction it off. Eso como veas. I would say naturally off, but it's fine. Also, la subasta, the noun is an auction. We were at an auction last week, an art auction, and they auctioned off, or they auctioned, otra vez, eso es preferencia, yo uso el off. They auctioned off a few different paintings. So, Laura, that would be cool. That's awesome. I don't know any art dealers, though. There's Born to Iron Man saying, morning, folks. Morning to you, sir. And he says, sweat rhymes with debt. You bet. Claro que sí. Sweat rhymes with debt. You bet. And he says, is it worth listening to Vaughn Radio? All right, there's just one thing, y por eso queremos verlo. Is it worth listening? So, esto le sigue el gerundio. Is it worth listening to Vaughn Radio? Is it worth it? Right? So, solo hacemos el ajuste ahí de añadir el ing. Of course, it's worth it. You can also say, is it worth it to listen to Vaughn Radio? So, tienes dos opciones, pero tienes que o ponerlo en infinitivo o el gerundio ahí. O sea, o te falta un to o te falta una ing por ahí. All right? And the last one, you can get a car taking part in an auction. Sure. That's very popular in the United States. Cars that maybe have been seized, ¿no? Quitados. To seize es quitar a la fuerza. Seize the day, agarrado. Seize the day es carpe diem. But cars that have been seized from drug money or things like that, you can usually get them at an auction for pennies on the dollar, como decimos. Buen descuento. Pennies on the dollar. All right, great job so far, my amigos. There's German. What's up, German? And German says, I bet you were in debt when we met. Was it worth it? Wow, German. Awesome job, dude. Really awesome job. I bet you were in debt when we met. Was it worth it? That was a triple rhyme there. All right, and the next one. I don't want you to auction off your house. There's a totally native por añadir el off ahí. Y lo dijo antes que guys, the comment was there before I said anything. So, great job, German, Born to Iron Man, and Laura. So we've got debt. Acuérdate, muy fácil. Esa palabra desde ahora para adelante. From now on in, that word will be viewed, visto, without a B. Okay? Then the next one, to be worth it. We already said the structure. Is it worth it going to the gym every morning? Is it worth it to go to the gym every morning? I know my answer. Right? I get a lot of energy from it. And a lot of people, oh, you lose weight. I don't think I've lost too much weight. But I feel good. So for me, the gym is not so much about shedding kilos, perdiendo kilos, but it's more about, getting your blood flowing, getting your heart pumping, and, getting the body moving. Body moving, body moving, body moving. All right, let's see Laura. Laura's got something to say about our Say What soundbite today. It's a tricky one, but I know Laura's going to do her best. I know all of you are going to do your best. Laura says, I heard an excerpt from an American action fantasy movie in which a superhero is trying to protect someone from a dangerous substance that has been used to destroy a statue. Again, Laura, I couldn't have said it better myself. Great job, Laura. Anybody else? Does anybody else have anything to say about our Say What soundbite? Going once. Going twice. This is what they say in an auction, by the way. Going once, going twice, sold to the man in the back. I remember my first time at an auction. It was at one of these state fairs. Estas ferias de condados, county fairs, they're called. And those are like famous. I mean, if you ever go to the United States in the summer, go to a county fair. I mean, that's where you're going to find the deep fried stuff, all those delicacies that are very high calorie. But you also find, like, I remember seeing an auction, and it blew my mind. Okay, I loved the rides, and I loved all the, all the treats, los manjares, all that stuff, and the, the animals and stuff. But there was one thing that I will never forget in my life. The moment my dad took me into this tent, porque usan carpas, and I didn't know what an auction was. I hadn't even seen one on TV. And I'll never forget, we walked in there. We were in the back because I don't even think we were participating. We were just, checking it out. And my mind was blown. My mind, I was, 200, 245, 45 man in the back. I was like, this guy is my hero. Those things that just stick with you for life? Well, an auction was one of those experiences where I said, what did I just experience? That's insane. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they were auctioning off a pig. Hey, that's why I said you've got to go to one of these county fairs. Last time I was in the United States, I took my niece and nephew to a county fair, and they freaking loved it. They were like, this is as American as it gets. And it was taking place at a circuit, a race car circuit, donde hacen carreras. So that gave it another kind of vibe as well. There was an Iron Maiden tribute band that night. So it was awesome. And not to mention, the deep fried Twinkies. A Twinkie is like Pantera Rosa sin la capa. No, just the spongy part. Pero luego they have this thing where they stick it in batter, yeah, como si haría falta una masa, and then they deep fry it. And they do that with Twix, they do that with Snickers, and yeah, that probably explains why there's a lot of obesity in my country. Anyway, let's move on, amigos, because it's time for our spelling bee.
Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee. Spelling bee.
All right, my amigos, it is our spelling bee here on the show with no name. Now, the spelling bee is not for the faint of heart. No es apto para cardíacos. Yeah, this is OTSS here, Darwinism. Ask me, Alberto, ¿qué significa OTSS? Alberto, what does OTSS stand for? Only the strong survive. Solo sobrevivirán los duros. All right, here we go, my amigos. This is round one of your spelling bee today. Good luck, because I am going to fly through this. And it seems like we're on the ocean or on a boat or something. I don't know. We will know shortly. Let's capitalize the first letter of every word. Are you ready? The first word is NORTHEAST space PASSAGE. The second one is ARCTIC space CIRCLE. The third one is DUTCH space EAST space INDIA space CO period. The next one is HALVE space MAEN. The fifth one, HUDSON space RIVER. And the last one, JAMES space BAY. Whoa, that was really fast. And it was not just 6 words today. In fact, one of these has 4 words in it. So I lie when I say it's misleading. Es engañoso when I tell you we're going to take a look at 6 words, because technically it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 words when you look at them all together. But that's not going to scare my amigo born to Iron Man. It's not going to scare him away. To scare away, ¿te suena del contexto? Espantar. Right? A scarecrow, you say, ¿cómo se llama esto? Que espanta pájaros. We call it a scarecrow. Cuervos, solamente, exclusivamente cuervos en inglés. All right, let's see if he nailed it or not. Are you guys betting on him? I am. All right. The first one is correct. Born to Iron Man. The second one is also correct. The third one, which is the longest one, is also correct. The fourth one is correct. Oh boy. The fifth one is perfect. And so is the sixth one. What can I say? If I was wearing a hat now, I'd take it off. Si llevara gorra, me lo quitaría. Hats off to you. Unbelievable. It's on the verge of, en el borde de, miraculous. I mean, I literally finished saying, how long did it take you? 10 seconds? 10 seconds. So I said period or BAY, whatever the last word was. And then I waited, I think 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and Born to Iron Man not only got them fast AF. You know what AF is? As fuck. Rapidísimo. He didn't only get them fast AF, but they are perfect. So great job, dude. You dotted your I's and you've crossed your T's. We say poner los puntos sobre las I's y cruzar las T's. You've dotted your I's and you've crossed your T's, and I didn't expect anything less than you. That's exactly why I bet on you. And I'm sure I can tell you right now that your fellow classmates were betting on you as well. Well, since he's the only one who got it, I imagine some other people will be able to figure it out when we hit round 2. But we're going to hit round 2 of our spelling bee after this quick commercial break. We've also got homophones up ahead. We've got, as I said, our Say What soundbite. That'll be our third listen. We've got Spelling Bee round 2. We've got Name That Movie. We've got Double Trouble. Man, we've got a lot of stuff to do here on the show today. Laughing, learning, and playing together. Guys, we'll be right back with the second half of today's show. So, say it with me. 3, 2, 1. I want all your energy. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 3 of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting. And mark your calendars again. I'll remind you guys, a free event, 2 free events here at Vaughn. You've got your open house in Colegio Estudiantes Las Tablas. That is this coming Saturday, the 21st of September, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Richard Vaughn will be in the house, along with Rob, Fitz. There will be storytellers, sample classes. You can get a free level test if you are in Madrid, and you can make it to Colegio Estudiantes Las Tablas Saturday, the 21st of September, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Well, then we'll see you there. Don't miss it. Also, October 2nd, we're having a party. Everybody swinging. That's right. We're having an unconventional trivia night. Because normally it's just trivia night and it's fun and we have a great time. But there's a cherry on top. Una guinda. And that is 16 freaking years. I can't believe it. Wow. 16 years of the show with no name. I hope to see you there October 2nd. It's a Wednesday. And it's at Real Madrid, calle Amañel 23 Amañel Street. We're going to be there having tons of fun, laughing, and learning. Sure. Same thing we do here, but we're going to do it in person. All right, amigos, let's kick off the second half of the show with a little challenge called Homophones on the Show with No.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, it's homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
All right, my amigos, here we go. This is our homophone section here, where I give you two words that tend to be a bit tricky when it comes to pronunciation. And what I want to see is A, if you're familiar with the words in English, and B, if they sound exactly the same or not. So like if I said, if I just say the word night, sin contexto, okay? Because if I say it's a dark night, claro, eso puede ser Batman, dark night, but really es una noche oscura. That's the play on words there. You get it? It goes caballero oscuro, la noche oscura. So, but without context, if I just say night, what am I saying? Am I saying caballero or am I saying noche? That's a homophone where you have no idea. Sí, el mar. Sí, ver. Sí, la letra C, right? You'll know it. So the first word is espías. Espías is the first word. A famous movie called Kids, no, Los Niños Espía. So I'm looking for the plural here. The plural of espía, que sería espías. And the second word is especia, sin ese, especia, in general. So the first one is plural. The second one is not. Okay? So the first one, espías, plural, espías, no una espía, sino dos espías. And the second one is especia, en general, o sea, no lleva ese al final. Me gusta la especia. Ahora, si dices, he echado diferentes especias, sí, right? But here, we're talking about in general, so no hay ese, just so we're clear on that. So, especia singular es la segunda palabra y la primera palabra es espías. All right, good luck. We'll see if you guys can figure out today's homophones. In the meantime, let me give you our Say What soundbite for the third time.
Careful, Chief O'Hara. Whatever unknown force was employed in dematerializing Marshal Coley's statue may have left a contaminating residue on the pedestal.
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's right, my amigos. It's our master's program. Don't forget, we got a full-time master's, and we've also got an evening master's program. So if you're interested in finding out more, you can go to grupovon.com/cursos destacados. And of course, you can get more information about our master's program or any of our amazing initiatives in the Vaughn world. Don't forget to follow us on social media as well. And that's another way you can make sure that you guys are in the Vaughn loop. All right, let's take a look at our homophones over here. The first person to participate is German. German is on fire today. And German says the two words correctly. And he says they're not homophones. I'm not sure, though, pero no lo tiene clarísimo. I like that you said that, German. It's good to know if you guys are like definitely, right? Let's see, Born to Iron Man. Born to Iron Man, those are the correct words. And he says they don't sound alike. So two super show with no namers here are telling me that nay, no way, Jose. Let's see, Laura. Laura says the two words are and I would say they are homophones, but I'm not sure because the S and Z, so the S and Z sounds drive me crazy. Oh, man. Yeah, it's like, well, the perfect example. El verbo use, usar, right? It's use. I use whatever. I use a razor, use. Zzz. Pero si lo ponemos en sustantivo, what's the use? What's the use? So, fíjate, use this, give it use. No son homófonos, aunque se escriban igual, como sujeto y como verbo y como sustantivo cambian, right? So that's just one example. I know what you're talking about, Laura. It causes a lot of problems for my students. All right, well, let me give you both words. I mean, this is how we solve this. The first word, let's look at it in the singular first. It's spy. Spy. Not espy. Quítame esa E delante. I don't want it. So it's como serpiente, spy. And it reminds me of a famous game. I spy with my little eye. Veo, ¿qué ves? Una cosita. Right? It's a game that you play when you're kids. I spy. Yo espío con mi ojo pequeñito. En tercera persona sería con ese también, que sería como el plural, right? So the plural, he knows many spies. He knows many spies. James Bond, yeah, he knows many spies. Zzz, it's el sonido theta, as you were saying, Laura. And the second one, I like to cook with spice. So I'm going to say, a las espías les gusta cocinar con especia. Spies like to cook with spice. Spies like to cook with spice. Spies, spice. They are not homophones. Whoa, difficult one. And it's not just the S and the Z sound, Laura, as you said. It's the length of the vowel, too. So they're spies. You extend it. My cousins are spies. Right? You're, and the other one, spice. ¿Qué me dices? So además de tener el sonido S, especia, and now I'm getting confused. I always mix up in Spanish, spices, things you put on your food, eso es el plural. We're looking at the singular, but spices and species, right? Different kinds of animals. I always mix those up in Spanish all the time. So the spies use a lot of spice. Spice. As you said, the Spice Girls. Born to Iron Man said the Spice Girls. Sure. Why not? Why not? Now, it's weird because I think their names should have been Rosemary, Thyme. What? Rosemary? Thyme? Romero? Tomillo? All right. Not that funny. Spice Girls? Well, like chipotle? I don't know. Are we thinking that kind of spice or just some black pepper there? So let's look at some words that rhyme with each one. Spies, rise, lies, cries. Okay. The next one, spice, lice, lice es piojos, lice, dice, dados, rice, and twice. All right. So there you go, folks. That was our homophone section. I also have to give you round 2 of our spelling bee over here. The only person to get it on round 1 was our friend, our great friend, Born to Iron Man. Let's see if anybody else can join him. The first one, Northeast. The second one, space. Sorry, my bad. Space. Let me start over. Okay, that's only fair. Es justo. The first one, Northeast, space, Passage. The second one is ARCTIC, space, CIRCLE. The third one, DUTCH, space, EAST, space, INDIA, space, CO, period, or full stop, as my British friends would say. The fourth one, HALVE, space, MAEN. The fifth one, HUDSON, space, RIVER. And the sixth and final one is JAMES, space, BAY. There you go, folks. That's round 2. Laura, I know the theory. I've looked at the words a million times. Especias, but I always mix them up when it's time to say them. But I know the theory. Believe me, I've looked them up even when I'm preparing a class or a document. I'm like, let me make sure I've got this right. But it always mixes me up in my head. But thank you for helping try to clear it up a little bit. German says the S and the Z sounds drive me crazy too, Laura. You never finish to learn, or you never end up learning them, right? That would be the best structure there. Let's see, Laura also nailing our spelling bee. So give it up for Born to Iron Man and Laura. Fantastic job, my amigos. All right, well, these words all had to do with Henry Hudson. Now, fijaos, no es Hudson, it's sin. Suena como pecado. Anytime it's in a last name. Bart Simpson. It's not Simpson, Simpson. So Henry Hudson. Es un truquito. Cuando ves son, es sin en un nombre, ¿ok? Simpson, Hudson, I'm trying to think of other son, right? Johnson, Jackson. ¿Qué tienen en común? En ningún caso es son. Son cuando está solo, pero cuando es terminación de apellido, es sin, ¿ok? Suena igual que pecado, ¿ok? So it would be a sin to say Henry Hudson if it's Henry Hudson. And today, in the year 1609, he reached the river that would later be named after him. And this river was called, or is now called, the Hudson River. That's right, the Hudson River. It is on the west side of Manhattan, and it goes all the way up to upstate New York, the Hudson River. Now, What is the name? I'll give you a little trivia, New York trivia. I'm sure Laura knows this. What is the name of the river on the east side? So the west side of Manhattan is the Hudson River. What's the river's name on the east side? Kind of a trick, funny question there. So obviously we looked at words that had to do with Henry Hudson. The first word is the Northeast Passage, okay? And this was something that he was trying to do, intentando hacer. He was looking for what would be the Northeast Passage to Cathay. Now, Cathay was what they used to call China. You probably know it. There's an airline, Cathay Pacific. I never knew that. So see, I'm learning here too. Cathay was the original name that they called it. So Northeast Passage, el pasaje, no es age, es age. Passage. Dilo conmigo. The Northeast Passage to Cathay is what he was looking for. And he was looking for a route to go above the Arctic Circle. So number one, Northeast Passage. Number two, Arctic Circle. Number three was the Dutch East India Company. Okay, the Dutch East India Company. We were talking about spices before. They were traders. They traded fur, pieles, pelaje, spices, and all kinds of things. The Dutch East India Company, he was employed by them. They acted almost like a government, like a country. They had so much power, right? And the next one was called half mine. Half mine, and this is the Dutch way of saying half moon, medio luna, half moon. And, well, this was the name of the ship that they were on at the time, the half mine. Number five, the Hudson River. And number six was James Bay. And James Bay was, well, basically on Hudson's final expedition. They were still searching for this passage that we mentioned. And what happened was in 1611, they were on the shore in La Orilla of James Bay, La Bahia James, after King James, I imagine. And Henry Hudson wanted to push on. He wanted to keep going west. But his crew, well, they were against that idea. And they didn't hide it. So they mutinied. Mutiny. Mutiny, how do you say this word? Sé que lo he visto en el pasado. Mutiny. Motín, rebelión. Motín, mutiny. So there was mutiny, and, well, Henry Hudson, there's a reason it was his last expedition. What they did is they got rid of Henry Hudson, okay? They mutinied him is the word. They got rid of him and his son and 6 others. They just left them there in the river to drift. And Henry Hudson and his son and the people who were with them were never seen or heard from again. So that's a pretty crazy, tragic ending to this guy's life. I mean, okay, you got the river named after you, and there are places in New Jersey, Hudson, New Jersey, or whatever. But at what cost? You know, your crew went against you in the end, and they mutinied. Laura got our New York trivia. The East River. Make sense? The East River is the one that goes down the east side of Manhattan. And it's interesting because the rivers, as I said, Hudson River, East River. Okay. Well, on the east side, you know what you have? You have the FDR, right? It's a parkway. This is like the main street to go up and down Manhattan without going through the center. And on the west side, you have the West Side Highway. So it's confuso because West Side Highway, but it's not the West River, right? FDR, but it's on the East River. Why didn't they just call it East Side Highway, East River, West Side Highway? I don't know. I'm just saying because in New York, people are quite logical. We come from the Dutch, so we are quite pragmatic, if you will. Let's see. Laura says, by the way, you mentioned the Intrepid Museum on the Hudson River the other day, and you made me take a trip down memory lane. That's a great one. Me hiciste rememorar. You made me take a trip down memory lane because I visited it when I was living in New York City. It was impressive. Yeah, no doubt about it. I've seen a lot of museums in my life, but none that is an aircraft carrier. So that makes it very special. And it's right there in Midtown Manhattan. I mean, it's crazy too, because you see the shuttle, you see the Concorde, and you're like, wait a second, there's a space shuttle here? Am I in New York City or where am I right now? So it really it's almost out of place there. And then when the cruise ships, los cruceros, come into New York City, they go right by it. So you're passing by it's kind of a cool view. I think it's an amazing view. You get to see the skyline of New York, and then all around it, these amazing parks and museums, because as I said, New Yorkers were pretty thrifty people. Thrifty is ahorrativos, pragmáticos, we're thrifty. We're good at reusing things. I always say New Yorkers are the original recyclers. We started recycling before it was popular, but not like recycling. I mean, plastic and containers and paper. I mean, like, this is an old, fishing dock. What could we do here to make it cool? Why don't we make it into a nice promenade, un paseo marítimo, where people can take a stroll, have a bite to eat, do some activities, and they're really good. I mean, the perfect example of this is the High Line. The High Line in New York City is now one of the most popular attractions. Okay. It's free. It's just an elevated railway that they turned into a beautiful park that gives you stunning views of Manhattan. And before this came into play here, this was an eyesore. What is an eyesore? An eyesore is something nobody wants to look at. Un engendro, una monstruosidad. Everybody was like, oh man, what are we going to do? These train tracks are just there and they're not in use. They haven't been in use in decades now, And well, New Yorkers being creative as well. There were some people said, let's turn it into a swimming pool. Imagine a big, long swimming pool up there. But in the end, they turned it into one of the most amazing parks in the world because it's unconventional, which is it's quirky. The word we use is quirky or unconventional. And I think this is what makes New York cool. Every time you go, you're like, oh, wow, look what they did with that. Oh, that's interesting how they took an empty lot and they turned it into, a garden. Or they're really good at taking the limited space because, believe me, there's not a lot of space. That's why the price of real estate is so high. El inmueble there. It's incredible. I mean, we're talking in New York now, yeah, millionaires, but more billionaires are living there than millionaires. So it isn't the cheapest city to live in. And, but it's a classic case of supply and demand, oferta y demanda. A lot of people want to live there in this little space. So the price per square foot, because we don't use meters, goes up tremendously. Amigos, we have to take a quick commercial break right now. We've got our fourth and final part of the show up ahead. In the fourth part of the show, we're going to kick off with our Double Trouble. Then we've got our Say What soundbite for the fourth time. Then we've got Name That Movie. We've got Name That Lyric, famous birthdays. We've got a lot of stuff to cover in the fourth and final part of the show. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the fourth and final part of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. Oh, yeah. The show with no name, where English is exciting. It's interactive. And it's not the only exciting, interactive, informative show on Vaughn Radio. We've got great shows all day long. So make sure you download our free Vaughn Radio app and learn with us everywhere for free. There aren't a lot of free things out there these days, especially in my country. Oh, you want to breathe? That's $10 breathing tax, impuesto por respirar. I'm serious. The United States, they want to charge you for everything. So it's cool to know that you still have some free things out there and useful things. I don't mean free donuts. That's not good for anybody. Oh, it's nice until you go to weigh yourself, vas a pesarte, and you're like, oh, shit. I guess those free donuts weren't such a great thing. By the way, there's an FYI episode on donuts. Also, this week's episode is on the verb to go. I suggest you get going, que te pongas en marcha, and give it a go. Inténtalo. It's a very, very useful one. Check it out wherever you get your Vaughn podcasts. It's for your English. All right, and let's kick off the fourth part with today's Double Trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
All right, amigos, it is Double Trouble here on the show with no name. And let's see if you guys can figure out today's Double Trouble. You have to use the same word twice in this translation. And good luck. I think this one's this is going to make you sweat. Sweat till you can't sweat no more. So, estoy esperando a entrar en acción. ¿Ok? Estoy esperando entre bastidores, esperando mi oportunidad. ¿Ok? Esperando a cuando me toque a mí. ¿Ok? That would be the idea behind the idiomatic expression. ¿Ok? Que literalmente es entre bastidores. By the way, if you know that word in English, that'll help you. So, estoy esperando a entrar en acción, entre bastidores, esperando mi oportunidad, como lo quieras poner. Sin embargo, voy a improvisar. There you go. Voy a improvisar. ¿Ok? A bote pronto ahí, sin pensarlo mucho. ¿Ok? It's what you do when you're not prepared. ¿Ok? So, estoy esperando a entrar en acción, esperando entre bastidores, esperando mi oportunidad. Sin embargo, voy a improvisarlo. All right, there you go, my amigos. There's your double trouble. You've got to use the same word twice. Let's see if anybody can figure it out. Also, here's your Say What soundbite for the fourth time.
Careful, Chief O'Hara. Whatever unknown force was employed in dematerializing Marshal Coley's statue may have left a contaminating residue on the pedestal.
Do you know about Vaughn groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front.
And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831, or you can go to our website, grupovon.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. That's right. More information about Vaughn groups, our master's program, our weekend stuff with Disney English for the kids. Find out more at grupovon.com/cursos destacados. Also, if you're following on social media, then you will definitely be in the know, enterados. All right, let's see who's participating in today's tricky, I think, double trouble. Let's see. Daniela is the first one to participate. Let's see how she did. Daniela says, I'm waiting in the wings. However, I'm going to wing it. Well, you didn't have to wing it here, Daniela, because you nailed it. Excellent job. Wonderful job. And Daniela says, oh, and hello, everyone. Hello to you too, Daniela. Great job. I'm waiting in the wings. However, I'm going to wing it. Let's see. Laura, I think you got it too. I'm waiting in the wings. However, I'm going to wing it. Let's see. Born to Iron Man. I'm waiting in the wings, although I'm going to wing it. Wow. That's great, guys. Yeah, the wings, if you think about it, las alas del escenario. It means you're waiting for your turn. You know, the perfect example, when I first started, Richard Vaughn was before me on the radio. So he would say many times, I've got Alberto here waiting in the wings, waiting for his turn, waiting to take action. So there it is, to wait in the wings. And then the verb to wing it means to improvise, right? It means what you do when you do something without thinking about it too much. A ver cómo lo ponen aquí. To wing, herir, no. Guardabarros, no. To wing something. Lanzar, no. Herir. No, it doesn't give it to you here, does it? Let's see. Wing of a bird, wing of a plane. So, guys, you know more than word reference because word reference doesn't have it here. Let's see. Wing it. If I put wing it. Okay, wing it. Improvisar. Ahí está. To improvise. To wing it. Es que tiene su propio. It's got its own category. It's not wing. It's wing it. So that's a good thing to know. We never say I'm going to wing. I'm going to wing it. So apréndelo como una sola. Excellent job, you guys. I can tell you are not winging it. And now we're going to take a look at a section called You're Joking. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking.
All right, amigos. That's right. You're joking here on the show with no name. I'm going to tell you some jokes. Sit back, relax, and see if you get them. See if you get the double meaning, the punchline, the part that's supposed to be funny. Also, Laura says, sorry, I couldn't get some words. Also, I've got to say something, Laura. I don't expect you to get the last names, los apellidos, because, like, you know, that's very specific. So, Laura, you got the key information in our Say What soundbite. Great job. Okay, the names are difficult. I'm not going to hold you accountable for the names, okay? But excellent job. And we'll take a look at that in just a little bit. All right, here's your first joke. Now, you should know this one. Why? Because we looked at this double meaning this week. Esta misma semana. So you're prepared for this joke. I think you are. Let's see. Two fish We don't say fishes. We say fish, el plural. Two fish swim side by side up a river. Maybe it's the Hudson River. And when they smack straight into a concrete wall, one fish turns to the other one and says, "Damn." Now, two fish are swimming side by side up the Hudson River. When they smack straight into a concrete wall, the hormigón, one fish turns to the other fish and says, "Damn." You get it? Maldito sea. Damn. Good. Born to Iron Man. You got it. Damn. We looked at this, guys. Come on. This one we looked at this week. If you have a decent memory, then you should be able to figure this one out. All right. Dam es maldito. D-A-M-N. But also dam es presa o dique. You get it? Ah, damn. Presa. All right. Sticking with this being on boats and rivers. How much does it cost a pirate to get his ears pierced? Oh, by the way, we don't call it a piercing. We call it a stud, ¿no? Lo que es la parte que metes ahí. It's a false friend. To pierce, perforar. Pierce Bronson. Imagine, poor Pierce Bronson. Por perfora Bronson. Okay, so how much does it cost a pirate to get his ears pierced? Easy. A buccaneer. A buccaneer? A buccaneer? A buck and ear? Bucanero, pirata, a buck an ear, un dólar cada oreja, a buccaneer. How much does it cost a pirate to get his ear pierced? A buck an ear. Let's see. German says regular puns make me numb, but math puns make me number. I like it. Good one. Because number, claro. Si decimos number, es que es buenísimo, German. There are two words here that we're playing with. The word number, donde la B es muda, como det, que es más entumecido. My hand is number than before. Pero esa misma palabra, si es número, es number. Eso ya lo sabes. So great job, German. Really good one there. All right. I got more jokes for you here. All right. I used to have a fear of boats. Oh, yeah. I didn't tell you about that. I had a fear of big boats, but that ship has sailed. No? That ship has sailed? No? That means that ship has sailed means, have you heard the expression? That means it's too late. The opportunity has passed me up. Right? So, Alberto, I remember a girl when I was interested in her. You know, she was this English girl. And we had fooled around. Estábamos enrollando. This is before I got married and all this. And then like a couple months later, I was like, "Oh, man, you're great." And she said to me, "That ship has sailed. Like, you lost your opportunity." I'm like, "Oh, really?" Okay, well, I guess ese tren se ha ido de la estación. I mean, think about it. Ese barco ya se ha ido. The ship has sailed. Did you know the idiomatic expression? Como ya he perdido la oportunidad, pero tenía un miedo de barcos, de naves. That ship has sailed. All right. The last one. What's another way to call a ship's captain? What is another way to call a ship's captain? A sales manager. sales. Well, sales is ventas, a sales manager, gerente de ventas, but also sales, S-A-I-L-S, vela, right? Vela, sales, a sales, el que maneja las velas. What do you call a ship's captain? A sales manager. All right. Not the best jokes in the world, but I think they were quite punny nonetheless. But folks, it's time to move on to famous birthday trivia.
Famous birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's famous birthday trivia here on the show with no name. Don't forget to let us know when you're celebrating a birthday so we can embarrass you here on the radio. Mine's not until November. Well, it's not too far away. I can't believe it. We're September's flying by, and then October's, oh, wow. Before you know it, folks, it'll be my birthday. But we've got another celebration, and that is the 16th anniversary of the show with no name. Join us Wednesday the 2nd. And I can't confirm this. It's not set in stone yet. No está fijado 100%. But there's a possibility that my wife and my daughter will be able to join me. It's a little bit late, but if we can make it happen. So I don't want to tell you, get your hopes up, darte esperanzas todavía, but maybe my wife and my daughter will be in attendance that day. That would be awesome because it's not your average trivia night. All right. So the first birthday boy today was born in 1940. He is one half of the Righteous brothers. So there are two of them. Now, their last name is not Righteous. Righteous tiene la palabra right en ello, right? Right, correcto, recto, honesto, honrado. Los hermanos honrados. You probably know some of their songs. You lost that loving feeling. Oh, that loving feeling. You lost that loving feeling. Now it's gone, gone, gone. Ooh. Boom, boom. It'll always remind me of Top Gun, that song, but also Unchained Melody. Oh, man, one of the most beautiful songs ever written, Unchained Melody. That is, oh, man, I'm not even a big Righteous Brothers fan because I don't know much of their music. I was more of a rocker, but there's a reason this guy's last name, and it's not his stage name, is Mezcla. Popurrí, combinación de música, right? That's his last name. Pretty interesting. Because you would think it's a stage name, but it isn't. It isn't. And they did also, you bring meaning to my life. You're the inspiration. They got some really beautiful love songs. Also, I had the time of my life. That's that guy singing with Jennifer Warnes. That's number one. Number two, this woman's name is a spice. Hey, we looked at spices before in our homophones. She's not a Spice Girl, but her first name is Romero. I told you that one before. Were you paying attention? Romero. And her last name is, well, a normal last name. But yeah, her first name is a Spice. She has been in many, many movies. She was in The Royal Family. She was in A Delicate Balance, Pack of Lies. She's won Tony Awards. A Tony Award is what you get for theater, but she's also been nominated for Academy Awards. She's received an Emmy Award. She was also in the movie Waiting in the Wings in the year 2000. Waiting in the Wings. Wait, isn't that an idiomatic expression that we looked at today? Yes. And she was also May Parker, the paternal aunt of Peter Parker in Spider-Man, the 2002 one, Spider-Man 2, the 2004 one, and Spider-Man 3, 2007. And speaking of superheroes, this last person was born today in 1928, an American actor who played Batman in the 1960s series called Batman. I used to love this. I used to love this show. And it was way before my time. I was watching repeats, right? But he also voices himself in The Simpsons, in Family Guy. I mean, the guy is a caricature if I've ever seen one. All right, does anybody know them? Going once, going twice. Number one is Bill Medley, potpourri. Bill Medley. Number two, Rosemary Harris, La Romero, Rosemary. Rosemary Harris. And number three, actor Adam West, who played Batman. And this is going to bring us to our Say What soundbite. This is Adam West playing Batman. And he says, "Careful, Chief O'Hara. Cuidado, Chief, Jefe, Teniente, Chief O'Hara. Whatever unknown force, fuerza no desconocida, was empleado in dematerializing Marshall Cully's statue," dematerializing, making it turn to nothing. Marshall Cully, that's one of the characters, may have left, puede que haya dejado, may have left a contaminating residue on the pedestal. So they're trying to solve a crime, as they always did in this Batman series. Here's birthday boy Adam West.
Careful, Chief O'Hara. Whatever unknown force was employed in dematerializing Marshall Cully's statue may have left a contaminating residue on the pedestal.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have reached the end of today's show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks for learning and laughing with me here on Vaughn Radio on the show with no name. Stay tuned. You've got a great, great class with Jimena Holiday and Nacho. They will be testing your English. You've got great programs all day long here on the Vaughn Radio app to keep you motivated. All right, this song is called Soul and Inspiration. It's by the Righteous Brothers, since it's Bill Medley's birthday. And let's take a look at the lyrics. You guys can Google them, and then we can sing it together as we say goodbye. Girl, I can't let you do this. No puedo dejarte hacer esto. Let you walk away. Irte, right? To walk away. Girl, how can I live through this? ¿Cómo puedo sobrevivir esto? When you're all I wake up for each day. Cuando eres mi razón por despertarme cada día. You're my soul and heart's inspiration. Well, they sing it a lot better than I do. You're my soul and my heart's inspiration. You're all I got to get me by. Great vocabulary. Eres lo único que tengo para salir del paso. You're all I've got to get me by. You're my soul and my heart's inspiration. Without you, baby, what good am I? ¿Para qué valgo? What good am I? I never had much going. Nunca tuve mucho a mi favor. I never had much going, but at least I had you. How can you walk out knowing? So le está dejando. How can you walk out knowing I ain't got nothing left if you do, baby? ¿Cómo te puedo decir sabiendo que eres lo único que tengo en esta vida? This is the Righteous Brothers, and the song is Soul and Inspiration. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.